JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 5th of September 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to the first Monday of September. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's trading session, of course. But yeah, guys, before we go further, before we look at the charts and everything, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, before we go further, just a quick update and tell you that, yeah, about our JFD YouTube channel, as always, to mention that, so you can always subscribe to it in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFDbrokers.com website, which you can check out for more information about us. Now, just a few announcements before, so basically on, just wanted to let you know, so on Thursday and Friday this week, we won't have any Traders Espresso. We'll go ahead with today's, tomorrow's, and Wednesdays, but as I said, Thursdays and Fridays there won't be any Traders Espresso. Yeah, so, oh, and also, by the way, I can see Uwe, yep, good morning to you too. I can see you there in the chat room. Well, good morning to everybody else who's joining in as well, so I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Monday after a relaxed weekend, I hope. But anyway, guys, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is, yep, as always, Nikkei 225. So today we saw a bit of a drift lower, so there we go, perfect test. Look, I mean, I talked about this a lot last week. I said that, look, my target is the this area near that 27,524 level, near the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. We managed to reach that. So now the question, my question is here: can we rebound? Can we rebound from this area? And can we, let's say, form something of a maybe a head and shoulders pattern, something like that? Maybe, you know, we have our not a very pretty left shoulder here. Maybe, you know, this could be the head. Maybe, you know, this could kind of rebound, maybe form a little one here and then drift to the downside. However, this is me trying to get ahead of myself a little bit and trying to see maybe what's not even there. So at the moment, the way to simplify it basically is just to keep an eye on this hurdle in this area. Even if we drop below it again, we'll keep an eye on this upside line, because there is still hope that this could, you know, rebound from this upside line and could push back up. However, if it starts breaking this this upside line, now that's where I'm gonna start aiming further south, guys. But at the moment, like I said, I'm really interested to see if we can get at least a little rebound. I'm not talking already about the big one, actually. Let's say, can we get at least a little one, maybe towards the 21-day EMA, something like that. Now, some of you maybe are looking at this again. You can try to start seeing things everywhere where you want them. You know, for example, some of you might look at here's an idea to, you know, mess up your head here. We might see maybe something starting like a complex head and shoulders. We have our left shoulder here, complex one, the double one, you know, and then we have our head. Maybe this could drift lower, you know, test the so-called neckline here, rebound, bounce around here, and then drift nicely to the downside. This is something for maybe a longer term. But again, it's just an idea at the moment, and to be honest, will it work out? I don't know, because again, this is, you know, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just here to kind of, you know, probably confuse you, I wanted to say, but hey, I mean, yeah. At the moment, guys, look, let's go slowly on this one, step by step. I mean, although it's quite interesting to see, try to predict the future, and then maybe if it works out, then you're at least you feel better about yourself that you managed to kind of predict something here. However, as we always know, it's not about the how you predict. It's actually about how you make your trades and how you make your decisions and how you approach and what's your risk management in all this. So let's put it this way. At the moment, I'll go from just what I have here. I'll go from this. I'll keep an eye on this area right here. These two EMAs. If we can rebound from them, great. I'll aim for that 21-day EMA. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index, very quickly on this one. So, okay, this is quite interesting. We are drifting, or should I say, we've drifted lower below this area. But this is what I hate when it's like not as clear as it should be. But hey, this is the market we're dealing with. So look, I mean, what I was talking about the whole of last week, I said that if we drop below this this downside line and this 19,179 level, then yeah, I'll go lower. I'll go for that lowest point of March near the 18,235. But okay, at the moment I would say I'm still kind of sticking to that idea, but I think it's time to get rid of this downside line because it's no longer needed. I think it's just in the way of just looking at this little hurdle here, this 19,179, because if we stay below it, then yeah, we'll go lower. If we don't, then maybe this could end up moving sideways here a little bit. So yeah, just keep that in mind. That's why my upside scenario is somewhere from around here, from this 20,216 zone. But even then we have a problem with this downside line. So look, let's keep it short and simple. As long as it's going to stay and trade in this area right here in between these two levels, I am just observing this one. I really don't like this, but if we do drop and stay below this area here, this key support zone, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting. ASX 200, guys. ASX 200, we have rebounded somewhat, but hey, this is not really a significant rebound. So look, at the moment it's not really ideal, I would say, but I'm still targeting this upside line taken from the low of the 20th of June. So this tentative upside line, I have to point it out because again, I've talked about these two lines previously. I said that look, I'll keep them on the chart in order to see which one of them is going to act maybe a little as more kind of will carry more weight. But apparently this one did not really carry more weight, so we can get rid of it. Now my interest is around this upside line to see if it actually gonna if it's gonna hold or something like that. But if you're looking for some lower levels on this one, well, to be honest, I would rather stick to a break below this upside this upside line and drop below this 6,746 level, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. The German index, DAX. So, beautiful push to the upside. Look at how well we've traded on Friday, guys. Oh my God, this has been quite amazing, I would say. Yeah, let me just quickly bring up the calendar here. Just a second. I think the Friday's calendar. Yeah, just wanted to pick up on the non-farm payrolls that came out on Friday from the U.S. So those have showed up much better than the forecast. However, worse than the previous numbers. So yeah, and of course the other number that really disappointed was the unemployment rate. So yeah, that came out, expected was 3.5, but came out at 3.7. So yeah, not really something that maybe the U.S. market wanted to see. However, something that probably Jerome Powell wants to see. So yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. On Friday, yeah, we saw the German index closing in positive territory. However, the indices did sell off. The U.S. indices sold off. So the cash index here, the German DAX cash index, did drift heavily to the downside, and basically right now we're trading at around 12,650 zone. So well below Friday's close. So we're kind of sitting somewhere around here near this target, near this hurdle. And yeah, if we drop below this again, guys, I mean, this is where I'll continue targeting the downside. Now, what I wanted to say as well, that look, when previously I talked about this one, and when I was establishing my levels, I said that, look, if you're looking for some higher levels, at least maybe a push above this barrier would be needed. We did get a push, but look, it closed very close to this hurdle, and that's why in these situations we need, after a rapid, like a strong move to the upside like that, we've closed just fractionally above my target, the one that I was talking about. So that means basically whenever we have such a situation like that, we need to be on the lookout. Will we get a further continuation to the upside? Well, at the moment, judging from what we see on the cash index, well, no, because we sold off, and now we're again examining in a way we can say that it never kind of broke strongly as we would like to see it, or as I would like to see it, basically, because again, this was my level here. Maybe you have some other levels, because maybe some of you have something around here, maybe this 13,085, which could be also a good target. Look, these levels they're all subjective in a way, because again, some of you might have something else on the chart, so you need to decide on yourself in a way. But I'm just giving you here like a rough indication. You'll still, you are still the decision maker for yourself. So guys, be careful as always. For me, like I said, everything's still kind of subjective here. One thing I can say, that we dropped back below the 12,828 level, and now we're near this target, near the low of last week, or in other words, near the current lowest point of September. If we drop below it, then yeah, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and I'll go further south. Nasdaq 100, very quickly on that one. So there we go. We drifted back below this upside line, but we stayed above this territory right here, and probably this is where it's time to adjust a few levels here. This worked nicely, but now no longer works. I'm going to put this on the chart here. So we have our arrows. We need our highlighted territory. So basically, I talked about this area previously, this area between the around the 12,000 mark. Let's put it this way, around the 12,000 mark. The cash index right now is already kind of above, well, actually it's rebounding a little bit, so it's currently near the 12,100 zone. So but we did briefly visit, out of hours, we did briefly visit the area below it. But hey, look, if we do drop again below this highlighted territory, then yes, I will go again to the downside, and I'll go further south. My next target will be this 11,820 zone, and then if that fails to provide support, my next target is, let me just grab this one, is around here, near the low of the 14th of July, and that's roughly around that 11,488 zone. So keep that in mind. Dow Jones Industrial Average, guys, similar story. Look, we had a good opening, we pushed higher, but then boom, there we go, we sold off. But the only thing is here is that we are still above this upside line taken from the low the 17th of June. So if we do rebound from this one, great. However, before I actually speak further, let me just quickly double check. Okay, so we're on the cash index, we're trading near the 31,390 zones. So basically, yeah, around above, we're still above this upside line. Okay, so that's still kind of good for the buyers, but can they maintain that that kind of dominance here? I mean, if suddenly we start seeing the index kind of dropping below the, let me just adjust this, below this upside line, and then we're falling below that 31,220 zone, somewhere around here, then yeah, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and potentially more sellers could join in. So if we're looking for some lower levels, then at least a drop below, actually let's put it at Friday's low, near the 31,182, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. So if we drop below this, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, more sellers could join in. DXY, oh, by the way, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, if, like I said, currently we're still above this upside line, so there is still a chance for the bulls to step in on this one. But yeah, let's be careful and cautious. And like I said, if we continue to trade above this upside line, yes, I'll aim for this downside line. But if we struggle, then yeah, I mean, this could be an interesting one for the bulls. No, for the sellers. If you are a bull and you're looking for something more reassuring, then of course a break of this downside line is required. However, I would say one thing that, if you are not really comfortable with this whole area in between these two lines, then don't. Just leave it. Because, again, look, it will present itself with a nice opportunity, especially maybe to the downside if we break this. But for the upside, if you think that it's a little bit on the tricky side, you are not wrong there. Because, again, all this area here, I mean, it could still rebound. It could push a little bit higher, but fail, for example, even to reach the Friday's high and then drift back down. So I really don't like these scenarios, so that's why I leave it here for now. And it of course, don't get me wrong, if it does move higher, then you will be capturing quite a decent this kind of territory. But again, it goes back to this kind of whole luck thing. So it's a tricky one. I would say, look, if you think that this is a good opportunity, okay, you can try to test that out. My only recommendation in all this is to have your stop loss in place, as always, because just in case if this suddenly reverses against you and breaks this upside line, then yeah, you're in the kind of in the negative territory. DXY dollar index. So pushed nicely on Friday. We remained above this territory, above this highlighted zone, and today we're pushing higher. So great news for the bulls. And now we're drifting further north, and we've overcame that 109.77 level I talked about. We we shot to that 110 zone. We overshot that. We are now drifting further north. So let's see where we can go after this. Now, of course, my next target here is the 111.31. So I want to see how that's going to play out. Again, looking at this monthly chart, you see quite a steep up move here. And don't get me wrong, eventually this will go down, but at the moment it's a one-way traffic, guys. So it's just kind of and it's like a locomotive and just moving higher. Well, forward, and in this case higher. Look, this next target here is quite an interesting one. That's the inside swing, inside swing low here, and that's the lowest point of September of 2001. Yep. So yeah, that's where we are right now. And another thing to remember, that if you think that we are sold or overbought or anything like that, always think that there's still always a little bit more that it can go, and then it will reverse. So basically, you remember, like, one thing, that you're not the only one who thinks that this is maybe overbought a little bit, but I think what will happen here, it will have a huge strong push to the upside. It will settle, and then it will drift back down, and then yeah, it'll show something of a maybe doji or something like that, or shooting star, and then it will kind of reverse back to the downside. So, but again, at the moment that's not the case. We are moving nicely to the upside, and I'll jump into the pairs right now, a few ones with the dollar, and you'll see what's happening there. But you probably already understand what. Gold, 1711 zone. We've reached that. We rebounded from this area. I mean, we've pushed higher. We're now currently sitting near that 1711, and this is what I talked about on Friday. Look, I mean, I said that we might see this little retracement. We got that retracement, and now my question is, can the 1711 territory provide resistance, or at least the the hold up here? So I'm still sticking to this idea to go lower, but hey, if it starts pushing through this area and pushes through that 1728 level, I'll consider a move towards this downside resistance line right here. WTI oil. Looking at this picture here, we can see that we are getting a nice hold up here near this 85.74 territory, so that's great. Okay, can we see a reversal? So far, so good. I would say everything's working according to the plan. The plan was to see a little rebound here from this territory, from this highlighted zone, this 85.74. Okay, that's fine. Now we can let's see if we can go a little bit higher here, test the 90.58 zone, and then drift lower. Now that's going to be a good question here. Can we do that? Well, let's wait and see. At the moment, yes, I'm aiming a little bit more towards the upside, maybe towards that this 90.58, maybe this 21-day EMA, somewhere around this zone. If it holds, great, we could see another slide like this. If it breaks, I will stick to my 200-day EMA line. In order to go higher, I would like to see a push above this 200-day EMA, shown here as the black line. If ETC/USD, so actually this is one of my recently favorite cryptos that that I started looking at, because at least it moves, at least it does something interesting. So hey, look, at the moment we have this kind of a range, kind of a descending triangle. So at the moment, I would say, looking at this, I'm from the shorter term perspective, I'm looking at this as a descending triangle. The question here is, can we break this whole highlighted zone here on the downside? If we can, then yes, I'll go lower. If we cannot, then well, we could still we might then break the downside line and maybe end up ranging here for a while. If we do break the highlighted zone, then my next target is somewhere around here. Somewhere near this area, this 22.80, 22.17. But yeah, like I said, in general, what I can say here is that I would like to see it drop below all of the EMAs, the 200 and the 100, or the remaining EMAs, the 200 and the 100-day EMAs. And then yeah, I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside. AUD/USD, there we go, moving lower. We had a little rebound here on Friday. Pushed higher, but as you can see here, the neckline of this potential, or actually not a potential, it is a head and shoulders pattern. So the neckline held nicely from underneath, and then now we're seeing a decline. As I said before, my next target is the 0.6680 zone, marked by the near the lowest point of July here, and also marked by the, let me just show you here, this one right here, the high of the 27th of May of 2020. So that's a good target, a good potential target. Let's see if we can reach that. If you're not comfortable right now, we know with this scenario, what you can do here is, from the shorter term perspective, keep your eyes on last week's low near the 0.6771, and a nice good drop below it, yep, could lead to some lower levels. AUD/JPY. AUD/JPY here, we need to see a nice good push above that 95.75 territory right there. If we clear that, then yes, I'll go higher. If we still stick around somewhere above this downside line, above that 21-day EMA, but below this 95.75, I'm just neutral, observing this one and not doing really nothing. I'm not doing anything here. For the downside, I need to see a drop below this, at least back below this 94.62 zone. I'm not going to drag this one way too much to the downside, but I'm just going to aim for this 93.07 level, and then we'll go from there. USD/JPY, guys, so continues to push higher. Looks more like a DXY chart, but yeah, it is still moving to the upside so far. I'm gonna be aiming here because we don't really have like you know, a good level or such. The next target is the 147.65. I mean, we could see something around here, but hey, look at this. I mean, it's not, this is a monthly chart, so I mean, we don't really have a good area apart from this 147.65. In that case, I'm gonna be aiming for that 141 level, and just I'm gonna go from there. At the moment, as long as we stay above this 139.39 level, then yeah, I will remain positive with this pair. Yeah, so far everything's working out nicely. Look, I mean, previously when I talked about this, I said that when we saw this little rebound here, we saw this little reversal here to the downside, I said as long as we remain above that 21-day EMA, then yeah, this could go higher still, especially if we also break this 139.39. Everything's everything's working out so far. So I will say this way, as long as we stay above that 139.39 level, I'll continue aiming to the upside. USD CHF, guys, so also interesting, very interesting. I said before that I'm targeting that 0.9886 territory right here, marked by the high of the 14th of July. And if you are looking for some higher levels, then, well, of course, a break above this area is needed. But what I'm aiming here for, basically, I want to see a, personally me, I would like to see a push towards this this hurdle here, and then maybe a hold up, and then maybe a reversal back down. So something like this I would like to see, but again, let's see if that's gonna happen or not. At the moment, you know, not all my wishes come true. So yeah, I will consider this idea. Still, like I said, I'm targeting the upside. However, if it starts dropping below Friday's low here, this near the 0.9784, then I'll consider a move towards this upside line earlier. GBPUSD, so continues to slide. Yep, nothing new, continues to slide, drifts lower, and to be honest, look, I kept on talking about this last week. I said that as long as it stays below that highlighted territory, I am going to continue targeting the downside. And so far, yes, it is going lower. My next target, as I said before, is the 1.1414. Although I said that, look, it is quite a distance here. However, with a strong dollar as we have right now, then yeah, it's quite logical. Now, this is the point where I will start saying that let's look at the RSI. We are getting into oversold kind of territory here below 30. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that, you know, you need to start buying straight away. It still can drag here for a while. Let's say, you know, we have seen these scenarios happening. So basically, there is still potential for the downside. And again, as I said before, with the DXY, if we do see some sort of a shot, huge shot in DXY to the upside, then look, we might see the opposite happening here. We could see a huge shot to the downside, you know, take out a lot of traders here, a lot of buyers, and then reverse and push higher. So quite normal, quite standard practice apparently in the market. So yeah, sorry, not apparently. We all know that it is a standard practice. Look, my next target in general is this one, the lowest point of March. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to reach that, but lowest point of March of 2020. I'm not saying that we're going to reach that. I'm just saying that this is the area that I'm aiming for. We might get close to it, we might not reach it, or we might overshoot it and then come back above it. So keep that and keep this in mind. Quick update on GBPCHF. So yeah, there we go. Beautiful drop lower. Last week I talked about this one as well. I said to keep an eye on the 1.1284, 85 zone, and we're now, as long as we stay below this area, I'm going to continue targeting the downside, guys. EURUSD reversed back to the downside. This one's also not feeling very well. However, last week I talked about this and I said that, hey, I'm kind of considering maybe a bit of a retracement, and yeah, we got that retracement towards that 21-day EMA. Now, the next part, what I said was that, can we get a rebound here? It would be nice to see a rebound, but again, let's be very careful. If it suddenly, let's say, drops and stays nicely below this 0.97 territory, somewhere around here, guys, then yeah, I'm gonna aim for that lowest point of August again, near the 0.9553 level, and then I'll take it from there. Maybe we'll get something like a double bottom here or something like that. So again, don't exclude this idea of, let's say, seeing a heavy drop here again, going all the way towards the lowest point of August. Like I said, maybe we'll form something of a double bottom, and then we can maybe reverse back to the upside, or on the other hand, maybe we'll start breaking this area, and then we'll go, you know, for a lower low. Either way, at the moment, we are at a very interesting spot. If you're not comfortable with this, that's absolutely fine, guys. You can wait for a push above this 0.9834 territory right here, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. A nice good push above it, yeah, may attract a few more buyers and lead this pair towards that 100-day EMA. And finally, EURUSD below. So, below this 0.9952 area, I talked about this, and there we go. We're now drifting lower. We did create a new low for this year already. So, and let me actually just check quickly. The monthly chart, when was the last time? Yeah, the last time we were here near, like, below these, below the parity was back in 2002, 2000, yeah, 2002, roughly around then. Yeah. Now we're seeing a further decline. At the moment, to be honest, I'll say the same thing. I'm leaning towards the downside as long as we stay below this 0.9952 territory. If we stay below it, then yeah, I'll go further south. If we climb back above it, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting. Maybe for a few more buyers, we could see this one climbing back towards that 21-day EMA. But at the moment, I am leaning a little bit more towards the downside, guys. So that's it for this session, guys. I really hope you found it useful. I'll have to wrap it up here because I'm kind of a little bit over my time. So just a quick reminder again that there won't be any Traders Espresso on Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow and Wednesday, everything is as normal, but just Thursday and Friday. There won't be any Traders Espresso. Okay, guys, I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place. Everything will be fine in that case. But, yeah, guys, don't overtrade as always, and see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.